Good evening. I'm Reverend Adeline Tyler Williams, Episcopal priest at St. Paul's just across the street, and live here in Fayetteville. I want to speak to you from a Christian perspective. I'm a Christian minister, and I know many of you share the Christian faith. The origins of our Christian faith involve many imprisonments. St. Paul, the patron saint for my church, wrote many of his letters from prison. Many early Christians were arrested and imprisoned for their faith, and our own Lord and Savior Jesus Christ was arrested and killed by the state. We can look back at these events and these people and see the injustice and terror that was attached to their imprisonments. And I'm saddened to say that I imagine generations from now, people may say the very same things about our county.
Good evening. My name is Ann Britton. I live in Prairie Grove, Arkansas. Jesus also said, "Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and render unto God what is God's." You all are sworn to uphold the Constitution of both the United States and the state of Arkansas. The safety of the citizen takes priority over everyone. The safety of our law enforcement should as well.
The truth of the matter is that prisons don't necessarily create safer communities. They create the illusion of safety for people who are white and middle and upper class, people much like myself, I'll admit that. But it ends up criminalizing people of color, people experiencing mental illness, and people living in poverty. So we must ask ourselves that simple question that many of us learned at church camps and in Sunday school. What would Jesus do?
And if we look at our inner cities that have gone soft on crime and release people who are animals to go and do it again, we don't want to be that. We need to have sufficient law enforcement access to those who break the law to make sure that people like me who are out here functioning in society within the law are safe. And
Jesus would care for people with mental illness and would seek their healing. He would create communities where they could thrive and be affirmed. Jesus would look to address issues of systemic poverty and to facilitate processes towards sustainable lifestyles. Jesus would provide resources for healing, well-being, and flourishing in community.
We have a big crime wave coming from the southern border. 140 countries have illegal immigrants who are criminals just crossing the border. We're going to have more crime. It's going to come here. We should have had this new jail years ago. And I thank you for your time. I support giving the people of this county the opportunity to decide this issue. We are an elected representative republic, not a democracy. Thank you very much.
Washington County has invested in learning about these alternatives to over-policing and imprisonment. But we can divert these funds to prevent people from being in prison. They can be at home with their families. They can be at work. They can be contributing to life here in our Northwest Arkansas community. We have a choice to make here tonight, and we have a choice that we may have to make again on the ballot in November. I want to make it very plain that my understanding is that if we choose jail expansion, we choose the side of the oppressor. We choose to be contrary to Jesus.